Welcome back to Transforming Your Life Through Storytelling. This week's true story reminds us of something simple, powerful, and often forgotten. What goes around comes around. Not immediately, not loudly, but always eventually. Let me take you back to the year 1892 at Stanford University. There was an 18-year-old student who was struggling to pay his fees. He was an orphan with no family to help him, and he had no idea where he was going to get the money to stay in school. One day he came up with a brilliant idea. He and a friend decided to host a musical concert on campus to raise the money they needed to pay for their education. They reached out to one of the greatest pianist in the world at the time, Ignacy Paderewski. Paderewski's manager agreed to the concert, but only if the boys could guarantee a fee of $2,000. That was a huge sum in 1892. But the boys believed in their idea, and so they agreed. They worked tirelessly. They promoted a concert, but when the day arrived, they had only sold $1,600 worth of tickets. They were devastated. Still, they went to Paderewski and they told him the truth. They gave him the $1,600 and they even wrote a check for the remaining $400 and told him that they would pay him back. They just needed a little more time. Paderewski looked at them and did something unthinkable. He tore up the check and returned the $1,600 and told them, deduct your expenses, pay your tuition, and whatever's left you can give to me. The boys were stunned. This man didn't know them, didn't owe them anything, and yet he chose to help anyways. That act of kindness said a lot about the size of his heart, and that moment came and went. Years later, Paderewski, the pianist, became the Prime Minister of Poland. He was a great leader, but when World War I struck, Poland was devastated. Over 1.5 million people were starving. Paderewski had no money, no resources, so he sought the help of the United States Food and Relief Administration. That organization was led by a man named Herbert Hoover, who would later become the President of the United States. Hoover immediately agreed to help. He sent a ton of food to Poland, saving millions from starvation. Paderewski was overwhelmed with gratitude. He traveled to the US to thank Mr. Hoover personally, and when he began to speak, Hoover stopped him and said, "You don't have to thank me, Mr. Prime Minister. You may not remember this, but years ago, you helped two young struggling students go through college. I was one of them." In that moment, Paderewski understood the kindness that he gave away without ever expecting anything found his way back to him when he needed it most. And that is how the world works. What goes around truly comes around. So when you help someone, when you show kindness, when you extend a hand without expecting a reward, you plant a seed. And that seed may not blossom today or even tomorrow, but it will when you least expect it. And that seed returns to you multiplied. You see, karma has a beautiful way of remembering the seeds you plant. So my message to you is, be kind, do good quietly, and thank you for helping me spread light one story at a time.